Take a look at this. These are tiny blood vials that could revolutionize the healthcare industry. And this is Max Marchione, the 25-year-old CEO who wants to replace your doctor with AI.
We want to create a healthcare system in front of the healthcare system. And that means doing a few things. One is having AI replace doctors.
Most of modern healthcare only shows up after something's already gone wrong.
It is open enrollment season and health insurance costs are climbing fast.
People within medicine know that the system is broken. It's just very difficult to escape.
The second is actually empowering consumers.
These are the results it came back. 106 biomarkers.
We're also missing an entirely separate component, which is how do we prevent disease from happening in the first place?
And then the third part here is
Good to see you.
Welcome
How you doing? You're looking good. You're looking fit. Today, we're going behind the curtain at Superpower to understand how Max built a $300 million company and how their team of 70 has helped improve the health of thousands of people. However, before we see inside the company, we wanted to understand what originally attracted Max to healthcare and why he dropped out of law school and quit Goldman Sachs to pursue it.
What was the original reason that you went out after this health market in the first place?
from age 8 to 18,
Yeah.
I had all sorts of health problems, many of them culminating in just not being able to sleep. And when that happens, you start to question the healthcare system and question whether it's as good as it could be.
Yeah.
And you also start to take health into your own hands. To every specialist, they just had the hammer, and my problem looked like a nail. Right? To the ENT, it's a structural problem in the nose. To the sleep psychologist, it's a CBTI problem. To the allergist, it's an allergy problem. To the non-allergist, it's a They all just thought my problem was their specialty. And I think where we need to get to is a single system that understands how all the dots connect. And that a human can't do that.
He was obsessed with health from a young age, and that's when he started looking into Peter Attia. He started wearing an Oura ring, which now is mainstream. He was always ahead of all the health technology. So that's the only place I think it could come from, is his own personal experience. And like I said, not just the headaches, but we had a lot of different health issues with him.
Max's negative healthcare experiences are hardly unique. The average American waits nearly a month to see a specialist, and even after seeing them, they usually get tested for less than 20 biomarkers on average. Superpower's Chief Longevity Officer and Harvard MD, Anant Vinjamoor, argues that the American healthcare system isn't actually built for prevention. It's built to react once you're already sick.
So my name is Dr. Anant Vinjamoor. I am an internal medicine physician by training. I've been practicing longevity medicine for about 5 years now. I'm currently the Chief Longevity Officer here at Superpower. We still have a medical system that remains focused on disease and diagnosing and treating. And don't get me wrong, we need that. Like, disease is something that we have to address when it happens. But we're also missing an entirely separate component, which is really getting at the question of how do we prevent disease from happening in the first place?
Here's the thing. New medical research takes an average of 17 years to become standard medical practice.
I remember going to doctors and bringing wearable data, and they're like, this stuff's bullshit. Or doing a gut microbiome test and bringing that. They're like, the gut microbiome's not real.
What Max saw was a system that rejected new technologies and didn't accommodate his forward-thinking mindset.
The doctor doesn't ask you, what are your health goals? They don't say, do you want to feel better? They don't say, do you want to improve your sleep? They don't ask you if you want to look younger. They don't ask you if you want to be more athletic or more energetic or be smarter. None of those things the healthcare system solves.
Superpower's vision for the future is one that aims to give their customers agency in their health.
I would like to see that in 5 years, when people first realize, hey, I want my health to serve me in more meaningful ways. I would like Superpower to be the first place they think of, and to be that first destination that they go to discover how they can embark on this health journey.
Max's personal experiences with the sick care system laid the foundation in his mind for a whole new approach to healthcare, one that focuses on preventing illness rather than just treating it.
So when we started the company, the articulation was we want to create a healthcare system in front of the healthcare system. And that means doing a few things. One is having AI replace doctors, right? And with the belief that there's a limit to human computation, and AI is the only way we get it. The second is actually empowering consumers. Today we say the consumer or the patient is not empowered. Our view is that people can be empowered. And then the third part here is how do you focus on allowing someone to prevent disease and enhance human capability rather than just treating sickness? That's where we're going. Right, done right, this becomes the first place people turn before the healthcare system. Done right, you never have to enter the sick care system we have today.
Max believes that AI is the solution. He wants to build a system that can analyze hundreds of biomarkers and catch patterns that no human could ever see. Through regular blood tests, customers can track how their biomarkers are moving over time with the guidance of Superpower's AI. And Sachin and I took the test. Stick around because the results really surprised us. One of the steps you mentioned there was having AI replace doctors, and that would be really jarring for a lot of people to hear because it's one of the oldest professions and that would be replacing them. How do people react to that?
I think it's already happening, right? Like if you have a health question, where do you go? My contention is you probably go to Google or ChatGPT, not your doctor. My mum, when she has a health question, goes to ChatGPT now. We already go into the AI rather than the doctor. And the irony is we might go to the doctor and we get home from the doctor and what do? We go back to ChatGPT because we don't trust our doctor. And the even greater irony is you're in the doctor appointment and what does the doctor do? They go to the AI, right? So I contend that we already have AI replacing a lot of what doctors do.
I actually do think that AI will supersede doctors. Arguably, you could say it already has in terms of knowledge and expertise.
But something that you do get from a doctor is that you can go into your local GP and you can get empathy from a real human being, someone that maybe not in all cases, but you can feel like they care for you and you can get to know your local doctor. And that is like really important for a lot of people. How do you think Superpower might be able to provide that?
I kind of challenge the premise, right? Like if you take a sample of 100 people and ask them, do you like going to your local doctor to get empathy from them? I think a very small proportion are going to be like, yeah, I have this, I've got this guy and I go to him and he's so good and so empathetic and so patient and listens to me. That's the minority of people. I think what you will hear is, I try to stay out of the doctor's office. I hate going there. They don't listen to me. It's an annoying experience. I think that's the more common experience.
Me, to be honest, I'll do anything because it's a doctor.
Totally, right?
To make this vision a reality, the Superpower team take yearly blood samples from their customers to essentially build a digital map of their customers' biology. We asked Manoj to explain what happens once those vitals are taken.
We have a comprehensive diagnostic panel that's comprised of 100 plus biomarkers. If you have specific areas of your health that you want to focus on, you can add these on top of this 100 plus biomarker panel, so you can really dig deep into different areas. So for example, if you're someone who deals with gut issues, we can do some diagnostic testing into your gut microbiome and build somewhat of a customized diagnostic testing package.
Once your blood is analysed, the app doesn't just give you a summary of your health. It also gives you a tailored action plan that promises to help improve your health.
A big part of this process is not just doing the testing, but knowing what to do to improve your health afterwards. For me, when I did my first episode of testing earlier this year, my vitamin D was pretty significantly low. There were some recommended actions in terms of things that I can do with my lifestyle. Eat vitamin D rich foods, get some more sunlight, schedule some outdoor breaks during my work time, considering that I work indoors. As we can see, my vitamin D went from infrared to optimal. And that is kind of a goal. That's like what we're trying to do with Superpower. We're trying to find out where people can make improvements in their health and see tangible differences, not just in the number, but also in terms of how you feel day to day.
And if you can wave your magic wand, what does the world look like in 5 years when hopefully a majority of the world has a Superpower membership?
I think that people actually are empowered to be healthy is the core of it. I think that right now people are not empowered to be healthy. I think people become more interested in health. Like they feel like health is something they can control and is in their own hands. I think health becomes a little bit more social as well. People compare their biological age, they compare their Superpower score. And I think that sickness goes down. I think it meaningfully goes down. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the US. I think that it's almost entirely preventable.
So we just gave our blood to a startup, our actual blood. And if you keep on watching this, we're going to reveal our real biological age.
Yeah, I'm actually feeling really nervous about this because I'm wondering, what if my biological age is like 60 or something?
And it probably is. But here's the thing, we just gave Superpower some of our most personal data ever, and we didn't hesitate. We didn't think twice about it.
Yeah, and this made us wonder, if you're building a startup with sensitive data like this, how do you ensure that you have trust with your customers in keeping this data actually safe?
So it turns out that Superpower is HIPAA compliant and SOC 2 aligned. Because when you're a company like Superpower and you take people's data that they need to trust you with, you actually need those things. And that's where Vanta comes in. Vanta automates all of your compliance, SOC 2, ISO 27001 and HIPAA, and they get you audit ready in days, not months. And they also continually monitor all of your compliance.
We've been building startup ourselves and we can't wait to share what we've been working on. But earning trust and building trust with our audience from day one, that's a non-negotiable for us.
So go to vanta.com/Sachin and Adam for $1,000 off. You'll find a link in the description.
Now it's time to see who's actually biologically older. So let's go check these results.
It's going to be him. To build a system this ambitious requires a level of obsession that borders on crazy. Max is known for working 110-hour weeks. We asked his team what it's actually like to work for him.
Yeah, I think I'm just perpetually terrified all the time. You're not going to keep any of this, right?
Yeah, you better not put that in.
No, I love working with Max. He does a really good job of injecting risk into the business, which is the role of a founder, ultimately. Like, how do you take bets that are unintuitive? Like, I really think we should make this bet. There's not enough data to support this, but this is what my gut is saying, and I want you guys to follow me. And I think he does a good job of coming up with those ideas.
And you speak a lot about team culture. There's an AFR article about you working 110 hours a week, and you think a lot about how you arrange the best team in the world. What have you learned about team culture, and what do you love most about the Superpower culture?
The most important thing we do as a company is bring on really good people to work alongside everyone else. Really important. People are everything. There are two parts to culture that are really important. One is, do we actually just have the best people? So much of culture is just hiring. Holding the bar really, really, really high. If someone is great, that's not good enough. They need to be insanely great. They need to be one of the best in the world to meet the bar. And that's important because everyone on the team lifts everyone else up or down on the team. I think we just have a very high bar for what we expect from people. And I think that's been good in terms of output, but also I think it attracts the right kind of people. So the people that are okay with that, working really long hours and us nitpicking over the smallest thing to get it quite right.
And interestingly, 1/3 of the team is Australian.
I think we can skim the cream of the crop. Many of the smartest Australians want to move to the US, and we're a pathway over. I think we have a reasonably Australian culture over here. I think that Australians tend to undersell themselves and overdeliver, whereas I'd contend that Americans often oversell and underdeliver. And the immigrant mentality is powerful. When you're here, you need to make it, right? If you're not making it with the company, you need to go back home.
Yeah.
And that's powerful.
I feel like we all take the mission and the gravity of what we're doing extremely seriously. But I think we also, at the same time, don't take each other as seriously. We have this, fun energy. People want to show up every day. They want to work on the weekends.
And I think people have asked us, how do you guys work 6 days a week or 7 days a week? Don't you want to take a break? And sometimes, I know other team members will go on holiday and are still checking Slack and still working. When you enjoy what you do, you can go for 3, 4, 5, 6 years and do it. Whereas if you are doing it for a short-term sprint because you want to get to some end state, like a Series B or a Series C, you're going to burn out through the process. So I think that's how you can work hard but also have fun, I think.
Yeah. Slack is also really fun. Sounds really lame, but our Slack is really fun.
That's really lame.
A recent article revealed Max works 110-hour weeks. He doesn't date, he rarely takes time off. To some, this sounds like hell. But to Max, it's something else entirely.
I think an interesting question is, why are we extending our lives? I think we want to extend our lives because we want to live. right? We're not extending our lives to like arbitrarily do it. It's because we want to live more. And we have to look at, okay, well, how do we define living? And living is contentment, happiness, creation, authenticity. And part of that for me is so I want to extend my life so I can do this more. And it's like, if I'm extending my life whilst not finding any joy along the journey, well, it's kind of pointless. I wouldn't sacrifice my family.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing I wouldn't sacrifice.
So you would sacrifice marriage in your whole life?
I would, again, I want to get married, I want to have kids.
Yeah.
If someone gave me two pathways, you get to create, and I have to choose one. You get to create what you want to create in your world, in the world, and you can't get married, or you can get married and you can't do that. I would choose the creation pathway. So I would sacrifice marriage.
Kids as well?
I would sacrifice that, right?
To get wow. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only thing you wouldn't sacrifice is family.
Yeah.
Superpower is ambitious, it's controversial, and it's driven by a founder who is willing to sacrifice everything to make it work. Whether AI will truly replace doctors remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure. The healthcare system is broken, and Max Marchione is determined to fix it.
So the doubt and the fear is not, oh shit, everything will turn to shit. It's more, we have this crazy opportunity, and it would be so sad to not turn that into something special. I think that we're at this really special time in history where what we're creating could be one of the greatest companies on earth, and change the nature of how humanity receives healthcare. And that changes everything, right? And there's a chance we don't get there as well. And for us to get there is going to be really hard, and this opportunity is now. Right? Like if this doesn't work, who knows whether there's a window to do this 5 years from now. It might not be there. There's an element of contingency and luck across the journey, and we're in this really privileged position where a complex of factors has meant the timing is now to do this, and it's incumbent on us to do it.
So we've just got our superpower scores, and we're really excited to see how unhealthy or healthy we are.
This is a big moment for Sachin and I. We are very competitive as people. Whenever we do fitness tests or anything sporty, we always want to one-up each other.
I feel like when we did the test, I wasn't in a kind of good place with with my health. I'd had a death in my family like a few weeks before, so I'm interested to see how that actually shows up. This is going to be the most comprehensive look we've had at our health in our whole entire lives.
What's your biological age?
27. 27? More than my actual age. What's your superpower score?
I'm 25.
25?
I'm 2 years younger than I actually am. That's huge.
What's your superpower score?
76.
Mine's 83.
Biological age is what matters.
Out of all my biomarkers, 103 of them, 61 are optimal, 30 are normal, and 12 are out of range. And the biggest one it says immediately is my vitamin D and my immunity isn't really good.
I didn't expect to have any out of range.
I've just gone into my action plan, which is kind of like the big protocol you get. So it said get smart sun exposure, restorative sleep, and then anti-inflammatory plate. And it's kind of recommended me vitamin D, zinc, another blood panel in a few weeks, 12 weeks to test this out, and omegas, which is super interesting and like helpful and actionable.
Hey, it's Adam here. Thanks for watching this episode of The Sachin and Adam Show. We have plenty of episodes like this on our channel, so please make sure to check them all out. And if you really like this, hit the subscribe button. The more subscribers we have, the more we can make bigger and better productions, and it means you won't miss out on anything in the future. I'll see you next time.